Conversation 1. It's a sign of madness that I'm talking to you. The kind of madness that delights me, if truth be told. A madness that carouses in obscurity and antiquity, a handful of facts made numinous in the telling, the splendid ego-fired business of an origin story. I hear it whisper, just the faintest hint of possibility. I open the door, and there you are, in your ruddy-cheeked, grey-headed glory. So where should we begin, old man? An acknowledgement seems fitting. I acknowledge you are in my blood. DNA suggests as much. The gravelly sound of Belfast on the Antrim side murmurs in my veins. I acknowledge there's more than you in me. I've got Clare and Donegal and Limerick and Offaly and Cork and Tipperary in me too. All places in a country I've never been. And there's the smallest drop of Wales and England, a minor complication in a very Irish cocktail. I acknowledge all the unseen inside me, the litany of families and their names, the Lyons and Kennedys, the McCarthys and Clancys, the Quinlans and Mohairs, the O'Dohertys and Malloys. All that long chain of birthing and dying, all that long history of poverty and struggle, all the crimes and misdemeanours, the broken and the healed, and all the joy and sorrow lost to time. And I acknowledge the one name that we both share. Red hand of Ulster in the sky above, fish in the sea below. Donnelly. Here's the first thing I know about you. You were born in the time of the great man, the first leader who wouldn't sell his mother for a title, who wouldn't take flight in the cause of self-preservation, who had the brains to recognise that real advancement required political strategy and mass engagement, and meeting the establishment in its own halls of power. The whole notion of what a hero might look and sound like was recast in the image of the liberator when you were a bawling baby, then a toddler, then no more than a snotty boy chasing your brothers and sister around the tenements of Belfast. Imagine, after centuries of ill-fated pike rebellions, hope appeared in the form of a lawyer of all people. But that's the point, isn't it? A sharper point than a pike could ever offer. There was no surer sign that the penal days were over and emancipation was finally achieved than the sight of the Irish Catholic lawyer and former parliamentarian Dan O'Connell standing tall at one of his monster rallies, showing the power that comes through eloquence and political savvy. I know my maternal mob in Offaly, the stonemason Malloys of Tullamore, were right behind the great man. I wonder if your father, George, talked about such things. Maybe he was too busy keeping his head above water in the new-style poverty of an overcrowded factory town. I gravitate to Dickens when I think about your early Belfast years. It's Dickens with a dash of Freddie Engels, if truth be told. Cotton had come and largely gone. Linen was the future. Belfast was Linenopolis. There was profit in all those crisp white tablecloths and bedsheets, purchased by all those crisp white wealthy connoisseurs of domestic finery. A profit and a luxury for the few, derived from the toil of the many. The powerful few, the capitalists, seize everything for themselves, while to the poor a bare existence remains. All strength to you, Freddie Engels, making your observations across the Irish Sea in Manchester, And give my regards to Karl Marx when you meet him. And where were you in all of this, Cornelius? It's such a Latin name. It should be the name of an emperor, or at least some heroic legionnaire ready to die defending Rome on a bridge, like Horatius. In your case, it was the name of a young man walking the early morning streets of Belfast to a linen mill. I swear I can see you, later in the day, standing beside the stinking mounds of retted flax. Down you stoop to gather it up and haul it to the crimper, a great water-propelled grinding thing that crushes the stems of the straw-like bundles as you feed them in. You're all of 16, going on 17, and the work's already marked your body. You've lost half a finger, an involuntary flesh offering to the modern god of productivity. Another is permanently bent out of shape. You work on despite it all. After the crimping comes the scutching. You haul the flax across to the constant rotating blades. They pummel the bundles as you hold them in place. Large pieces of husk fall to the floor. Fine dust fills the air. It covers your face. It gets into your eyes and into your mouth, then sinks down into your lungs. And you stand there until the flax is stripped, and there's nothing left but a few fine, supple strands that go to make the linen. This is your work. It's your brother's work too. At least you have your youth, but you can see your future in the older men with their stooped backs and their bloody hacking coughs. And then you go back to the overcrowded tenement court that you call your home.